Good morning. Today is August 2nd and we're back at it with the Every Bit Counts challenge. I am just pulling up my ricotta recipe from my cheese making book because I have some milk that needs to be preserved, and cheese is a great way of doing that. So I've got my 1 gallon. I'm just going to make a whole milk ricotta, and I'm actually going to age this. Normally ricotta is a fresh cheese that you just keep in the fridge for up to a week and then you use it as you would intend to. But I'm actually going to make a ricotta salata, which is a ricotta cheese that is then just aged a bit, and maybe 2 months at the max. But it's a great way to preserve it just a little bit longer. While the milk is heating up to make the ricotta, I've got my beans. So a lot of these, well, I have a gallon bag here, and I harvested these, I would say, over a week's worth of time. And so I just kind of wash them, put them in a freezer bag, and just put them in the fridge. I leave the bag open in the refrigerator. That way they can get some airflow, but allows them to still stay crisp and, you know, until I'm ready to process them, which is today. So I am going to get these green beans. I'm just trimming up the ends. And I did a whole video on pressure canning green beans, so you can watch that because I'm not going to go through specific instructions today. Today is just about getting it done, getting it preserved and in the pantry. But I'm going to pressure can all of these today, get the ricotta made. I have a lot of cucumbers you saw from yesterday's harvest. I may ferment some today. I'm not sure yet. It's all about time and energy, right? It's always what it is. I did so many green bean seeds this year. My goal really was to be able to can all of our green bean needs. I did, I would say, close to probably between 50 and 60 quarts last year, but they weren't with beans that I had grown. I had gone to a local farmer and bought 2 huge boxes and canned them up. And that's kind of how we realized how much we love home canned green beans, is by doing that process last year. So my goal was to really try to grow them all myself this year and not buy any. And I haven't bought any. Everything that I'm canning has been homegrown, but I have not had the yield that I thought I would. And I don't know if that's temperature or just poor germination or combination plus other things. Or lack of rain probably too is a huge one. It's been so hot. But I have sowed probably, I'm going to say, between 80 to 100 green bean seeds. And I have maybe, I would say, a 50% success rate with that. So it sounds all impressive to say there's maybe 50 plants out there, but there aren't 50 plants out there. So I'm not sure what happened, but I'm going to try to maybe hone it in a little bit next year. And hopefully I'll still get a good enough harvest. I mean, this amount that I'm canning today is probably the most I've had to can at one time. So I take that as a success. I'm not going to get nearly the same amount of quarts as I did last year, but that's okay. It's still food. It still all counts. But I want to get these in the jars while that milk is still heating up. It has to get between 185 to 195, and then, you know, if you're not seeing a good separation with the curds in whey, you can go up to between 195 and 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I already added the citric acid in, so now we're just waiting to heat it up and let the curds in whey separate. But once that's off the stove, I'll get my pressure canner on the stove to get these going. The ricotta is over near the sink, and I think we're ready to go ladle our curds into the mold. So we're gonna let it drain. We wanna get as much of that liquid out as possible. I'm gonna tie a rubber band around it. Once I feel it's pretty well drained, it's about 30 minutes or so, we'll put it back in our mold to give it the shape. I'm actually gonna try to hang this. I usually hang it on a knob from our cabinet. I may try to hang it from the faucet here. So hopefully that rubber band will last. I only need it to last for 30 minutes while that drains. The whey is still very hot. I'm actually gonna save the whey and dilute it like a 1-to-1 ratio, or maybe even a 2-to-1, 2 water, 1 part whey, and use it in the garden to fertilize. Day 2 is done. May not seem like much, but remember, every little bit counts. The whole point of the challenge. So 3 quarts of green beans and homemade ricotta that will last a little bit longer through the rest of this year. I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're not already. Thanks for joining. Stay healthy, stay well. Bye-bye.